Hello, everybody. This is Rock Kaput. My name is Oliver,
And I'm Alex.
and you already know us by now. And it's time for another ranking. And yeah, usually we switch from week to week, so each one of us gets a pick. And today was my choice, a band I love very much. I don't know what Alex thinks about this band. We haven't talked about it that much, so I'm pretty excited for this ranking. The band we are going to talk about is Creedence Clearwater Revival, one of the great American rock and roll, blues rock, swamp rock bands. Um, yeah, before we start, as always, don't forget to give us your thumbs up, subscribe to our channel, and yeah, prepare to give us your comments about Creedence Clearwater Revival. And before we get into the ranking, just a few words about the history of the band. Uh, Creedence Clearwater Revival consists of band leader Tom Fogerty, his brother John Fogerty, drummer Doug Clifford, and bass player Stu Cook. They started in 1959 under the name of the Blue Velvets. Later on, they would call themselves Vision and the Gollywogs before they met record label owner Saul Zaentz, who yeah, told them to get a different name, so they called themselves Creedence Clearwater Revival. Released their debut album in 1968, and yeah, became a success pretty much right from the start. So in 1969, they released not less than three albums. All of them went to the top 10, with several top 10 single hits as well. Very successful year. Um, John Fogerty writes all the songs, which would later become kind of a problem in the band. 1970, they release their next album called Cosmos Factory, which is also a huge success, goes to number one. Um, but the cracks are showing in 1970. Yeah, their struggle in the band because 1971, sorry, their struggle in the band because the other guys want to have more creative involvement, which John Fogerty basically declines. Um, they go to the studio with no songs, trying to kind of jam their newest album, which doesn't work. So John has to write it on the spot. This is their second to last album, Pendulum. After that, his brother Tom leaves the band, and the other, and yeah, I don't know. The last album, Mardi Gras, which comes out in 1972, is kind of considered something like a self-sabotage by John Fogerty because the other guys still want more involvement. So he says, "Okay, so you write your songs and you sing them." Um, which they then do, and the album becomes a flop. And shortly afterwards, the Creedence Clearwater Revival disband. Yeah, the band members have never resolved their troubles. Tom Fogerty died without having made peace with his brother. When they were inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, John Fogerty declined to play with the other guys, so he got other people on stage with him, Bruce Springsteen, for example. So yeah, pretty stressful history, but hugely successful history. And yeah, let's go into the ranking. And Alex, start with your number seven.
Okay, first, I want to give you a little bit of my background with the band. I did not know any studio albums before going into this, but I knew a lot of. No, no, that's wrong. I knew Cosmos Factory, but I did not know it very well. But I recognized this very early on in the record collection of my brother-in-law. I have two older sisters, and yeah, my their boyfriend friend back then, he had a quite a cool record collection. He liked Thin Lizzy and also Creedence. I remember that. Yeah, and I know a lot of those songs from compilations, and I don't really know from where, also from the radio. And yeah, I've always loved this band, but I never really discovered their discography. So thank you, Ollie, for this. This is really a very very cool band. I always wanted to get into, but there are so many bands. So but finally I did it. And yeah, and I like this band. And um let's go to my number six. It is yeah,
Seven,
you
seven,
mentioned it.
seven.
My number seven, sorry, is Mardi Gras from 1972, their last album. I think many people probably consider this their worst album. I mean, it's not that bad. I think it's okay, but there are not really remarkable moments on it. And the songwriting here is split among the remaining three members after Tom Fogerty left. And yes, they do a cover of "Hello Mary Lou" by Gene Pitney. I think it's totally unnecessary. The Ricky Nelson version is perfect, but it still fits to the band. It's okay. But yeah, this is my number seven.
Yeah, no big surprise, I would say. So actually, our history with the band is pretty similar because um, I didn't know the full studio albums as well before going into this. Maybe I listened to them once or twice, but my main contact with the band were two pretty great best of collections, Chronicles 1 and 2, which basically have everything you need by this band. I first came into contact with them through the film Twilight Zone, the movie. It's
Mm,
kind of an anthology movie, and in the wraparound story, Dan Aykroyd, I don't know what happens in the story, but Dan Aykroyd is driving in his car by night, and starts, I think he picks up a hitchhiker, and he starts talking about Creedence because they come on the radio or something like that. And the song that's playing is Midnight Special. And
yeah.
I love that song. And yeah, then I think I bought these CDs, these collections. And I mean, this band has so many hits. It's incredible for the short amount of time they were active. And the songs have this quality that they seem to be way older than they are. So it's basically like they have written folk classics to me. That's how this band works for me. But yeah, my number seven is also Mardi Gras. Um, I think it's the logical choice for Last Place album, and I agree with you. When you read about it, it sounds really bad. Then going into it, you think, well, it's not that bad, but compared to what came before, it's a huge decline. Um, and yeah, it's pretty much an asshole move by John Fogerty to kind of make these other guys sing their own songs because he didn't want to do that. I mean, he was
Yeah.
aiming for the breakup, you could say, and take it like it starts good with a John Fogerty song, "Looking for a Reason." I like that one. Then the second one is sung by a bass player, Stu Cook, and the vocals are horrible. "Take It Like a Friend." He can't hit the notes. It's terrible. Yeah, and the other songs are better, but yeah, they are not much more than average. I think the best track, not by John Fogerty, is "Door to Door" by Stu Cook. I think that one is pretty good. "Sweet Hitchhiker" was a hit single by Fogerty. That one's good as well. But yeah, this is clearly the worst of the bunch to me.
Okay. So my number six is Bayou Country from 1969. Yeah, it features the classic "Proud Mary," and yes, what kind of a little bit dominated my renting ranking was how many hit songs were I really loved were on the albums. Was It was at least part of it. And yeah, this is a very good album, much better than Mardi Gras, and it helped define their swamp rock sound. And yeah, they also do a cover on it of Good Golly Miss Molly, which is actually one of my favorite rock and roll songs from the rock and roll era. I sang it myself in one of my old bands. And I've heard many versions of this song from the Sonics, from I don't know whom, and this is really not a good version. And it doesn't. They play it in a kind of a more laid back feeling than Little Richard, which is strange to me because they have such a powerhouse singer, and this title screams that you gotta sing it, play it fast and sing it loud. But maybe it was a little bit too high for John Fogerty. I never thought about that, but maybe that was the case. But they still could have played it deeper. Yeah, not really that great, but yeah, it has Proud Mary. But overall, this album, I would say it relies less on the songwriting, but more on the groove and their overall swamp rock sounds. It's still a nice, cohesive listen, but it doesn't have many great songs on it. That's why I placed it 6.
Yeah. I basically agree with you, but still I ranked another album lower, and that's Pendulum, their second to last album. At first listen, I didn't like it at all. I thought it was horrible, because I listened to the 40th anniversary edition where there's these super weird sound collages stuck in the end. The reason for it, I think John Fogerty planned to put them on the regular release, but his band members said, we don't like this. But like I said before, they didn't have any songs going into the studio. They all used up their songs. The other guys wanted to jam and write songs or develop songs by jamming, which didn't work. So John Fogerty had to write all these songs alone on the spot. And for that one, I think it's pretty remarkable. There are some good tracks on it, like the opener, Pagan Baby, is pretty heavy. Like that one, Chameleon is a great rocker. Then, of course, there's a beautiful ballad. You probably know it. Have you ever seen the rain? Beautiful. Wish I Could Hide Away is also good. Hey Tonight is another hit. That's great. And I also like Molina, which is this kind of upbeat song. But yeah, then there are some kind of weird songs on it. I don't like Sailor's Lament at all. Um, that's really a weird song, and it ends with this long instrumental sound collage thing, Rude Awakening #2. I don't like that one at all. It screams filler to me. But still, uh, yeah, after a couple of listens, this is still a good album but the highs aren't as high as on the other albums. That's why I ranked it on #6.
Okay. Good. My number 5 is their self-titled from 1968. It has a lot of covers on it, but I really love this record because most of the covers are really cool. But I don't really know. It's a big hit and many people love it. I don't like Susie Q that much. To me, it's not. It's okay, but not that great. But I really love "I Put a Spell on You" by the Screaming Jay Hawkins cover, and it totally shows they can do soul.
Yeah.
Because with when you hear later tracks sung by John Fogerty, I mean, he's really screaming on the top of his lungs. You wouldn't think that this guy can do a soul song. I at least I didn't. But he really can. He's really a master in it. If he if he doesn't give us that much power, yeah. I mean, there's this expression, singing with too much soul. I think John Fogerty sometimes does it, but on the fast rockers, it's really cool. But it's still sometimes a little bit over the top for me. I also like the other cover, 99 and a half by Wilson Pickett. I also like Wilson Pickett a lot. It's brilliant, really, really good. And also the traditional Get Down Woman and also Gloomy. Yeah, this album is overall rooted in blues and psychedelic rock. And it established John Fogerty as the band's creative force and lead singer. So, and yeah, I mean, there are a lot of cover versions here. So you should maybe you should give an album with originals uh, um, more artistic credibility. But in this case, I give more credit to the performances, because the performances of these cover versions are so great that I prefer this over some of their own material. Yeah, and it also has this timeless quality, like many of their classic songs. You as you mentioned before, you think these songs existed since forever.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So coming in at number 5 in my personal chart is Bayou Country. And you summed it up perfectly. I think this is mostly a kind of a vibe album or an ambience album, because the two longest songs, Graveyard Train and Keep on Chugling, there's not that much happening in both of these songs. Um, but yeah, they have this kind of jammy, bluesy, swampy vibe to them, and they are not, to me, they are not their greatest songs, but still I can appreciate them when I kind of zone out of the record a bit and have it in the background. Um, but it starts with one of their all-time greats, Born on the Bayou, with that great howling vocal by John Fogerty. I think he's and I think that very often when I wonder why certain musicians aren't that appreciated in the US of A, and I think maybe it has to do with that they know these people from like TV and their personality, and when people come off as like assholes or unsympathetic, or you just see them too often, you kind of lose respect for what they do. And whereas here in Germany, I mean, I've never heard John Fogerty give an interview or something like that. He's just this voice on this music. And I think he's one of the greatest voices in rock music. Not every time he has different styles of singing, but this full force roaring, rocking voice has so much power to me. I think it's great, and to me it seems he doesn't get that much yeah, props for his singing. So Born on the Bayou is great. Bootleg, I like that one, but it's, you said he sometimes does too much, and I think sometimes he's doing a little bit too much with trying to get this southern accent right. And on this one, it becomes very obvious, because when you listen to it, you don't understand what he's singing. To me, it sounds like Wule, uh, because he's kind of swallowing half of the consonants. And yeah, yeah, Good Golly Miss Molly, I agree. Proud Mary is one of these songs I mentioned that seems to be like it's 200 years old to me. Uh, Probably their most famous song. Penthouse Pauper is nice. So yeah, two really great songs, and a couple of songs that are kind of in between, but a good vibes album.
Mhm. Okay, so now we're at number 4, right?
Right.
So my number 4 is Willie and the Poor Boys from 1969. I think their second album from 1969, right? They released two.
let me check.
Uh,
Yeah, I think it's their second or the third.
Even okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, and yeah, this album blends their original songs with the American folk and blues traditions. So again, they have covers on here, like the Midnight Special, which works great. A traditional American folk song. It fits this band perfectly, and also Cotton Fields by Leadbelly. Is also great, and they have two originals that are drop dead classics, Down on the Corner and Fortunate Son. I love those. Also the lyrics. Yeah, I think this is really a great album. I love it. Yeah, I don't have anything else to say, but yeah, this is really great.
Yeah, it's the third from 1969. So
Wow.
yeah. Okay, so my number four is the debut album, Creedence Clearwater Revival. And yeah, I love that one. And I think I keep repeating myself, but you are absolutely right regarding the ratio between their own original material and the covers. You tend to put it down a little bit, but then these covers are so great and yeah, seem to be their own. They make these songs their own. I Put a Spell on You is kind of a weird choice for an opener, but it immediately draws you into the album. I think because it sets such a great mood and John Fogerty is amazing on it. He sounds so great. I love the guitar sound on that album. It has this um, wiry guitar sound, really great. Uh, I love Susie Q. Think it's great. I also love the Wilson Pickett cover, 99 and a half Won't Do. Um, Porterville is an old song they had played before and also released as a single in one of their earlier incarnations, but didn't work. I think that's a great one too. Um, Gloomy is great, and I think Walk on the Water is one of their greatest deep cuts. Also, very dark and moody song, absolutely great. Um, yeah, I love this one, but still, sound-wise, it's they have this kind of psych sound on a couple of tracks here that they would lose with the album that came next. So you still this sounds more like a 60s album from that era, while the albums that came later they yeah made their own kind of retro sound, you could say. So yeah, the debut is my number four.
Yeah, actually, you're right. I should have placed it higher. But here we are. My number three is Pendulum from 1970. No covers on here. All original tracks written by John Fogerty. Yeah, and this album, it marked a little bit of a shift toward richer arrangements. They have keyboards on here and also a saxophone. And yeah, that's maybe that was the reason it has a kind of a more interesting production. There's more going on sound wise. That's why I put it a bit higher. And yeah, and it features one of my all-time favorite songs, Have You Ever Seen the Rain? And also Hey Tonight. And yeah, I think Have You Ever Seen the Rain is such a great song. And I also like the rest. I think it's a very cohesive listen. And it's the last album with Tom Fogerty. So yeah, I like this album a lot, but yeah, it was really hard to rank. It's really hard to say if this is really better than Willie and the Poor Boys, but yeah, this is my number three.
Cool. Okay, so my number is it my number three or my number four? My number three, right?
Great.
Yeah, my number three is Willie and the Poor Boys. Yeah, starts off great with Down on the Corner. Love that one. it's just a fun song to sing along to. It gives you a good mood. It came out of the sky is also great. More a bit darker, more rocking track. Cotton Fields, I got a little bit tired of that one because it doesn't happen too much, and it's to me it always seems it could be a little bit faster. But yeah, it's a fun folk song, of course. Um, yeah, Fortunate Son. There's not much to say about that one. It's an all-time classic of rock music, one of the great anti-Vietnam songs. It's angry and powerful. It's just great. Um, Don't Look Now, It Ain't You or Me is also shows how good they were at this rock and roll sound because you when you listen to that song you could swear it's a cover tune from the 50s, but it's an original and it sounds like a rock song from the 50s. So yeah,
Yes.
I already mentioned the Midnight Special. Love that one. An old traditional. And like the album I mentioned before, this one also ends with one of their greatest deep cuts, Effigy, which is yeah almost an epic song for Creedence terms. Yeah, also slower, broodier and moodier song that really grew on me while listening to that album. So yeah, Willie and the Poor Boys is my number three.
Okay, so my number two is another 1969 album. It is Green River. And it's really very, very close to the number one spot. Again, on this album, all tracks are original compositions by John Fogerty. And this album was inspired by his childhood memories and also southern imagery, which is quite interesting. And I mean, you can hear it in the lyrics. One of their big breakthrough albums. And yeah, and this really includes hit after hit. Bad Moon Rising is probably my favorite song of them. I mean, this is really a three-chord masterpiece. I love River. I assume the grunge band Green River named themselves after this song. I love Lodi. I love Sinister Purpose is one of my favorite deep cuts, which is really really cool. And yeah, this is really a cohesive album. I can listen to this from front to back, and it's really really great. And yeah, and John Fogerty is really a force of nature in his singing. Also on Bad Moon Rising, I think I can he holds up to any hard rock or metal singer. I would say if he would scream, I'm sure he would be among the loudest.
Yeah, yeah. And his haircut is a force of nature as well.
Right.
Okay, so you that's it? You finished?
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, big surprise. My number two is also Green River.
Hmm.
Um, and yeah, I completely agree. This one and the number one spot they could change probably every day because both are so great, and the number of great songs and hits on it is just mind blowing. And I repeat myself, thinking that all these songs came from John Fogerty, from one person during that short period of time. I mean, of course, some songs were older, but it's amazing with how many high quality songs he wrote in that period of time. Yeah, Green River, you mentioned that one. Commotion is also a great rocker. Love it. Tombstone Shadow is just badass, and I also love his vocals on that one. Wrote a Song for Everyone is this somber, beautiful little ballad. Also nice. Kind of changes the mood for the album after these three pretty dark and rocking songs. Um, yeah, Bad Moon Rising, all-time classic. For me, it's will be forever tied to the movie An American Werewolf in London, to that great transformation scene.
Ah.
the protagonist goes through. I mean, it's just a perfect fit for that scene. Lodi is great. And yeah, Sinister Purpose. I actually don't remember Cross Tie Walker right now, but Sinister Purpose, yeah, is one of their lesser known songs, but also worth a check out. And The Nighttime is the Right Time. I love that one as well. Yeah, another cover version, but totally fits the bill and rounds off this perfect album.
Yes. Cool. So my number one is, of course, Cosmos Factory. I think this was also, as I mentioned before, the first time I've seen this band because I've seen this album cover as a kid. And yeah, and this is still my number one. And it showcases the band's signature sound of rock, blues, country, and their trademark swamp rock sound. And it features classic like Who'll Stop the Rain, Run Through the Jungle, and Travelin' Band. Travelin' Band is such a cool song. I mean, this could also be a 50s rocker.
Yeah,
Uh, it has the typical chord changes. It is written perfectly. It is really a classic, like Hello Mary Lou. It is really great, and yeah, I think many people consider this their masterpiece, but I think Green River is great as well, and Green River might have the better album cover also. So yeah, yeah, also great cover versions on it. I heard it through the grapevine. My Baby Left Me. I don't like Ooby Dooby Dooby that much. I mean, I really love Roy Orbison, but I also don't like his original of Ooby Dooby that much. I think it's a strange song, and I really never understood why this became a hit. So okay, but. Other than that, this is a great album and really CCR at their strongest.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's my number one as well. Um, and I love the cover artwork. And I mean, it's not a good cover, and no band of their statue today would let a photographer take a photo like that and make you look like these dogs. And I love it that that was possible in the 70s, with no I don't know, with no agents kind of trying to rescue the situation or save the face of the artist. They just put this on the cover, and I mean they were a huge selling band, and the cover didn't even harm this record. It went straight to number one, stayed there for 9 weeks, I think. Um, yeah, I think it's what's great about this one, and I think in the end it was the reason why I put it above Green River is, like you said, it showcases a little bit more variety. I think so. Ramble Tamble harks a little bit back to their psych rock days. It's pretty jammy and long, but it's a great song. Love it. Before You Accuse Me is this straight old timey rock song. Traveling Band. I just read that actually they were accused of plagiarism
Oh,
because the
really?
song sounds a little bit like Good Golly Miss Molly. But yeah, they could.
Ah,
Um, yeah, they agreed out of court, and yeah, probably a couple of bills went over the desk. Yeah, Ooby
I
Dooby,
mean,
I agree with you. But then looking out my back door is, I just love it. And Run Through the Jungle is another great um, menacing Vietnam song. Really great. John Fogerty, again, with his great voice, serving the song to the fullest. I also love Up Around the Bend. Um, Beautiful. My Baby Left Me, another old timey rocker. Great. Who Stopped the Rain? Great. It's amazing what they did with I Heard It Through the Grapevine. I mean, it should be kind of blasphemy to cover this one. But they make this insane psych epic out of this track, and it's just great. And yeah, and ends again with this beautiful song, "Long as I Can See the Light." Yeah, I guess you probably realize that I really love Creedence Clearwater Revival. Um, and but
And
I,
rightfully so.
I said during while we were chatting back and forth, I once said that I think they are more like a best of band than an album band. But in the last couple of days, I think that's really not true because there are so many songs besides those great singles that are also really good. Um, but yeah, these singles are just they are just towering above everything else, and I funnily I never grew tired of them. So, but maybe that's what because in Germany you don't hear them that often because we don't have classic rock radio, something like that, and they weren't that big of a thing around here. So it's yeah, it's still fresh when you listen to them.
Yes, and they have this folk quality, this timeless quality. I
Yeah,
mean, and I think, and if a song is really timeless, it doesn't annoy me as much.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
It's
and if the singer really delivers, and I mean, it's a little bit like Country Roads by John Denver. Yeah? It's a very annoying song when other people sing it,
mm,
but when I hear the John Denver version, I think this is great.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And again, he's I think he's really amazing.
Yes.
His raw is just so powerful, and yeah. So let's wrap it up, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So this was our ranking of the great Creedence Clearwater Revival. I hope you enjoyed the show, and if so,
Wait, wait. I want to make a statement, one more statement. Maybe this is the greatest American rock and roll band. From the top of my head, I can't think of any other band that would deserve that title. I mean, the songs are well known enough. I mean, you could name another band, but I don't know how many Stooges songs do people really know. So no, from the top of my head, I don't really. What do you think?
um, yeah, from that certainly from that time period, I think absolutely, and they were so versatile. As great songwriters, great versatility. Um, we talked about John Fogerty a couple of times now, but the band behind him just performed great as well. I love the guitar sound on that album, on these albums. Um, and yeah, kind of sad that they broke up the way they did. But yeah, when you're flying that high, it's probably um, yeah not that unusual that kind of tensions arise. But yeah, I I think they are certainly in the discussion and have a lot of great hits to back that claim up. Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. Okay, so
Good. Sorry.
no problem. Um, yeah, if you like the show and Credence, give us your thumbs up. Um, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and let's talk about Credence in the comments. So, what do you think about John Fogerty? Um, yeah, what do you think about Alex's claim? And what are your favorite records by them? Let's talk about it, and we appreciate your comments and hope to see you very soon with our next ranking or whatever will pop up in our heads. So come back to Rock Kaput and take care. Bye bye.
Yeah, bye.